Kenan from Church Cheapskates. What we want to do today is tell you why we think small churches should live stream. Now, Chad and I have different backgrounds. I'm from a large church, and when I say large, I'm talking over 1,200 people. And it was obvious for us why we should live stream as a larger church. But what we want to talk about today is why small churches should also live stream.
For our church, there are really three different groups that we're hoping to reach each and every week with the live stream of our morning worship service. The first group is people that may have never come to our church before. Maybe they heard about it through a friend, maybe they got a family member, maybe they just came across it one day scrolling through their feed, just happened to be there for whatever reason, and they engage with us sometimes for 2 or 3 minutes, sometimes for the entire length of the video. And what happens is they're able to see something that may not be what they expected. Maybe the style of what we do is different than what they grew up with. Maybe just in the communication itself, there's something that's different than what they expected. And every time we hope that we're giving gospel truth to them in a way that can be applied to their life. The second group that we often try to reach are people that are a part of our church but may not be here on a given Sunday. As a newer church, we don't have 90% of our people showing up every single week during the month. Many of them come 3 weeks a month. Some of them come 2 or even 1, sometimes because of work or other scheduled conflicts and things like that. And so by us live streaming our service, they're able to still stay plugged into what we do, even though they may not be here on a Sunday morning. That's really key for people that are also plugged into what we call journey groups, or our small groups ministry that we do at our church. Because many of those small groups will use things from the Sunday morning time within discussion during their small group time. So they can go and they can listen to that, and they may have been gone on Sunday, but when they get to their Wednesday night group or their Tuesday night group or their Thursday noon group, they will have seen the time, heard what took place, and be able to interact with others about that. The third group that is really significant for us to connect with through our live streaming is people that are actually here on Sunday morning. And yes, that means some people that came and maybe they heard something and they want to go back and listen to it again. And we know there are people that come to our church and they're in our worship time and they may listen to it a couple or even 3 times during the week. But there's also people that are serving all over our church every single week. Some of them are serving in what we call Journey Tots, which is our preschool ministry. So because of that, they're not in with our worship time. Others are part of Journey Kids. They may be first impressions workers, greeting people as they come in or providing security in our hallways while service is going on. And so because of that, they don't get to plug in with the full worship time on a Sunday morning. So what they can do is they can go home that afternoon or during work that week or maybe during a lunch hour sometime. They can go in and they can watch our feed. It's not live like it is for others that may be watching on Sunday morning. But they can go in and watch and still feel connected to what we do. I believe that this is an incredible tool that has really become manageable as far as cost and effort and energy that it takes to make it happen. And I think it's something that almost every single smaller church and ministry should be using right now.
So there are many different ways to live stream. Perhaps the 2 most popular free versions at the current moment are Facebook and YouTube. Currently, we use Facebook. Chad, could you explain why?
We found in our area, and I think for most people, especially if you're reaching out to adults, Facebook is still that social media platform that a vast majority of people are using. Everything from grandparents to parents to even some of the teenagers who may be using other social media platforms but still have a Facebook account that's linked to many of those. So they're seeing that live feed come across their page. And it gives them the opportunity to link immediately. It gives us the opportunity to tease it throughout the week and use other videos to connect them to it. It's very easy to use. It's very inexpensive to use. And we just found it's the best fit. We really think it's a great fit for smaller churches that don't want to spend a lot of time editing and doing other things. We think YouTube is a great platform for when people want to kind of take the next step and begin doing some editing and other pieces to it. We think it's just kind of, people expect something a little bit different on YouTube than they do on Facebook. So for us, Facebook is the perfect platform for us to live stream from.
Another great thing about Facebook is after you finish live streaming, you can save it on your page. And as people are scrolling throughout the week or even through that very day, it can pop up if they've liked your page. Now, there are many people who also detract from live streaming in general, not just for small churches, but for large churches as well, saying things like, well, if you're going to have service online, people aren't even going to come to your physical location.
And that could be true. It could be that when there's a family getting ready in the morning and one of the kids just isn't feeling good, that instead of one of the parents staying home with that child and the other parent and the other kid or two coming along to church, they may just say as a family, we're going to stay home this morning and we're going to plug in that way. We're actually okay with that. We'd love to have them here and a part of what's going on, but if it means that as a family unit, they're worshiping together, they're connecting together, we think that's okay. But we think that happens just a very small percentage of the time. We actually think that it helps because we may be in the midst of a sermon series and they miss out on the first week because of something going on. Well, now it's easy to miss the second week because, I missed what happened last week. Well, now there's not that excuse anymore. Now they can go, they can hear that, plug into what's happening, and be back ready to jump in with us the very next week. Another misconception that people have sometimes is that once you begin to live stream, that all of a sudden it becomes about the production or the performance. I will tell you that we take what we do on Sunday mornings very seriously, what we call our group worship celebration. And so because of that, there are some things that are fairly regimented. We're very intentional in the way we build our worship services. We're very intentional in what we communicate during those times, but there's also some times when it's a little laid back and fun, and our greeting times on Sunday can be a little crazy and all. We have a good time with that. But it's never about production, because once you start live streaming, you don't even realize that you're doing it anymore. We don't have a situation where there's 4 people running huge cameras like you would in a larger church like Kenan came from. In those kind of places, it's hard to be on the stage and not know that you're being videoed. With what we do, and you'll hear about it in the how videos to what we do, but we actually have just one camera sitting where most people don't even notice it. It just looks like another piece of equipment sitting there. And so because of that, it really doesn't change what we do or how we do it. It just is able to then translate what it is that we're doing into people's homes, into people's lives, on their phone, on their computer, on their tablet. And then as they like it, everybody that they're connected to on Facebook gets the opportunity to see it. As they share it, it boosts it out to all of those people. And even over just the last couple of weeks, we've had people that we were blown away. We're checking out our page and checking out our service. People that I would have thought never, ever would have done something like that. We're not only watching, but then communicating with us, putting comments on, asking questions. It's been a great way for us to begin to break the ice with people that maybe would never have thought of stepping in the doors of our facility, but after connecting with us first through our live stream, are beginning to take those steps.
Hopefully this video has been useful for you. If so, be sure to share it with people who you think it also can help. Also, if you want to see more of our videos, you can check out our next video, which is What Mevo, telling about the kind of camera that we use on Sunday mornings, or you can check out some of our other videos, and be sure to subscribe.